they would be DQ'd for that. And you're right, they don't need the flute. That is not a required item anymore in this seed. Looks like they're starting.
All right, we are getting underway, and this is open mode, so they are starting in different locations. Now, they do start with the boots, which allows them, allows these overworld glitches to be a little easier. Furaime doing an interesting little glitch there that, if I understand, it was just for showmanship. He just threw the bomb and transitioned as it was exploding and didn't lose a bomb.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before.
But yeah, I don't think it served any purpose other than swag. But oh, we have an early hammer. That must have been... I missed where that was.
Hammer was in Sanctuary, yeah, so Chex has got that.
Oh, I must have lagged right at that point. So yeah, so it's not something that Furaime is going to be missing. It's just because we are in the open logic, where you don't have to go and rescue the princess immediately. She's already in the sanctuary. The runners have the choice of starting either at the sanctuary or at Link's house. You have to save the old man before you get the checkpoint at Death Mountain.
Yeah, and Furaime's gotten his hammer as well. It looks like he's going to follow in Chex's footsteps, doing Lost Woods and then down into Kakariko.
Ooh, and he just got... Oh, the sword! He found a sword. That is a fun early find for a runner in an open world, because you can go for an hour without finding a sword, and it feels bad, man.
Yeah, the sword helps a lot because once you're able to do spin speed, either with the sword or with the hook shot, a lot more glitches open up to you. So they're definitely going to be happy to find that.
Now, Chexhuman did some farming of different enemies for bombs. Now, he gets bombs off this tree pole anyways, but I do believe that one of the dancing cucumbers there, that an 8 bomb is in their drop, but he's already got 8 bombs, so, well, he's got 10 now.
Looks like Chex is setting up some sort of water walk here. This is usually not very commonly seen.
Yeah, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, he did that by dashing right up against the fall point, and then that sets up that water walk, that you can kind of fake flipper and be able to dash at the same time.
Yeah, so he's doing his Jesus impression right now, walking or running all over Lake Hylia, and he's gonna get over here into the waterfall to see what's in these 2 chests.
I could use some wine. And the flippers. What? So, in the tournament that we've been watching for a couple months, that wasn't possible. It wasn't even possible. But Water Walk is a minor glitch that is part of the logic in this, so you don't need the flippers to find flippers.
That's right. Interesting enough, though, that was a sequence break. The logic does expect Chex to have the pearl in order to do the water walk that way. So, pearl is definitely not behind the flippers. Although, I mean, flippers doesn't unlock that much in this mode anyways.
Okay, this is one I haven't seen before. That's an interesting early... is he doing early Eastside Death Mountain?
Yeah, he's over on Eastside Death Mountain right now, going into Spiral Cave, and he got up there by going from Zora, and he wrapped up the screen, so if you go north from Zora's domain, you're going to end up in that East Death Mountain area. Over here.
So Furaime doing some more traditional checks. One thing I'm going to really love about watching this tournament is, like, these guys have the same items. You would expect that they're doing the same things, but there's such a divergence right now of of their choices because they have so many options.
Yeah, there are so many items available in Sphere 1. Basically, all of Light World is open, except for the very few locations that require items like the fetch quests, or some one-off locations that require the gloves. Paths that you can take to try to find where the progression is going to be. And once they find the Moon Pearl, almost all of Dark World is going to open up to them as well.
Wow, so, you know, we always like to talk about troll items and that sort of thing. Is it going to fall into the same idea that, you know, our bow, you know, or Canis Samaria are troll items, or do we see different ones, like maybe Hookshot that, you know, you don't need to get to Eastside Death Mountain?
Oh yeah, all of Death Mountain is available right from the beginning, so you don't have to worry about that. Mostly, they're gonna be looking for what are the crystal dungeons, and then what are the items required to finish those dungeons. That's really what's gonna troll them.
Now, does having this, you know, these other options and not needing all these items to check locations, with Furaime finding a whole bunch of money in the library, will that allow, will this seed be faster, or will they be led astray by having too many options?
It pretty much balances out, as we see Chex over here swimming through the clouds to try to get his own money, and there he goes. But you are allowed to go faster because you can use these glitches, but it's balanced out by the fact that there's so many more locations that you need to check now.
Furaime has found something. He's found something important that can be a troll item. Now, my friend Ryu would say something here. I'm not him, so I'm just going to say he found the red cane. And actually, he just did that in 7 seconds, which, you know, doesn't seem like a big deal because we see 8 seconds all the time, but 7 seconds to get through that race game, that's pretty much perfect execution. What I think he's about to do now is I think he's about to do like a desert check. I believe that's where this leads.
Yep, he's just jumped down onto that ledge and he's right in the desert area, so all of Desert Palace is available from the very beginning, and this is where some progression might be.
Now, now correct me if I'm wrong, but the fact that he found the book didn't lead him to that decision, because in this mode, that Desert Palace was in the logic regardless of the book.
Yeah, he doesn't need book to get into desert at all. The one thing he might be thinking, though, is that the book does give him access to check Bombo's tablet, which is in this same area.
Oh, that's true, and he won't need a mirror to do that. He can use one of those up movements to. Would it be an? Yeah, it would be an up, wouldn't it? An up left.
Yeah, he can downwards teleport onto that ledge and then just hop on up to where the tablet is. And we'll probably see him do that once he's finished checking out this front half of desert.
Now, I don't think we caught on tracker what it was, and we don't have his music, so I'm not sure whether. Oh, but he doesn't have a fire source, so that brings up a good question. Oh, there's a fire source. He found a fire rod. Never mind. But I'll ask the question anyways. Are YBAs allowed? Or they would be that would be a dungeon glitch, huh?
Well, you can do YBAs in the dungeon, and those are definitely not allowed because that's not in the overworld. But you can do YBAs in the overworld as well, and they have a variety of effects. We'll see if they do that. It's not in the logic to be able to do YBAs, but sometimes it can speed things up.
Well, I'll be interested to see that, because the only YBA that ends in it, well, it's sort of overworld that I'm aware of, takes you to exploration glitch, which most definitely is not allowed. And Chexhuman at 9 minutes and 48 seconds is checking Link's house. That's what's great about open and this mode.
They've made quite a significant amount of progress, I would say, for just 10 minutes. So Chex is going over here. He's gonna, I believe he's gonna check cave 45 over here.
Yep, looks like it. Yeah, you know, this definitely isn't, you know, oh, these are good rando runners that know how to do the glitches. This is runners that know what they are doing in terms of overworld glitches. They think in the sense of overworld glitches, not just, oh, I could do this. Nope, it's their mindset. Oh, and Chexhuman did the race even faster. Look at that.
He's gotten a little stuck.
Nice.
But yeah, I believe this is a really newly discovered glitch where you can teleport up onto that ledge and grab the race item without even going through.
You see, it's amazing. Because, this game came out 91 in Japan and 92 in America. And 26 years later, we're still finding new ways to break it.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at that.
And by we, I mean not me at all. I just watch the videos and replicate.
It's interesting that neither runner, despite having taken different paths, has found the Moon Pearl yet. That's probably the #1 item that you want to look for in the early game. So my guess right now would be that it might be hanging out somewhere in the Dark World, and they might have to pull off some shenanigans to find it.
That was my next thought is, you know, and I'm going to just throw this out there now. You just correct me if I'm wrong, because it's bound to happen eventually. But we could see the Pearl doing something like a Super Bunny glitch, correct?
Yep, that's definitely logic. It could be in the Super Bunny cave. I'm looking at what items they have right now, and it could even be in Village of Outcasts, I believe. Well,
now, how would it?
I take that back. I think they need by logic, they would need the mirror to find the pearl in there.
And how would something like that happen?
So using the mirror, they could get down the Dark Death Mountain, and so they would be running around the overworld as a bunny. And there's a glitch where if you enter a building on the same frame, you will enter that cave or that house as a super bunny. And so as a super bunny, you're able to open up the chests in there.
Oh, that's right, on the same frame that you, use the mirror, correct?
Yeah, you have to use the mirror and enter the building on the exact same frame.
Oh, and we got a hook shot. Did we find that in Mini Motor? Where did we find the hook shot? This is stuff's happening so quickly. All right, I'll calm down. I apologize.
It looks like they just want to kind of exhaust the easily accessible light world areas first. Furaime setting up a water walk here before they are forced to go into the dark world. Now, I believe both of these runners are good enough to be able to finish the entire seed without the pearl, but the pearl will definitely speed things up for them.
Furaime using a interesting way to fake flipper. So basically, he throws down a bomb and uses that bomb's propulsion to push him onto the very last frame of that particular screen, which is exactly how you set up a fake flipper normally. This is just that couple split seconds quicker because, you know, he doesn't have to line it up. Doesn't have to worry about making an error as long as he's on the right side of the bomb when it explodes.
Yeah, and it was important for him to line that up because if you try to fake flipper and you fail, it will cancel your water walk. So you have to get it right on the first time if you want to keep your water walk charged.
So Furaime is going to pick up his flippers while Chexhuman is going to be finding his fire rod here soon. Now we will get to see Zora that we did not see before because Chexhuman did this in the first couple minutes of the race and did not have Zora type money yet.
Yeah, they're still going to scour the light world. There's actually not very much in the dark world that is in logic right now. So it makes sense for them to continue to look around in the light world. I believe neither of them have gone to escape or Eastern, so those might be interesting places to look.
Well, Eastern's a pendant, so I mean, of course you need to go in there.
Alright, Furaime's going to check out the back of Escape now, since he has picked up the gloves, so that's a good play.
So yeah, I'm not sure if Furaime did, but Chexhuman is definitely going to be checking this tablet here. Won't be able to get whatever it is, though. And it looks like a shield. I don't imagine we'll be seeing him coming back. Chexhuman was about to do another clip, but realized he hadn't checked our little exclusive friend over here. And Furaime is going to do what is called a DMA, or Death Mountain Ascent. And he's basically going to go into a cave here that is... Which cave? This is, I believe, the Old Man Rescue Cave, correct?
Yeah, he's rescuing the old man right now. So Chex has already gone through Death Mountain. He came up from the Zora area and then worked his way to the west side. It looks like Furaime's going to attack it on the opposite direction. That's the thing about a lot of these clips. There's usually multiple ways to do the same thing, and so these runners are going to be trying to pick the fastest way to clip around and find the items that they need. Oh, Furaime kind of messed up that clip over to the graveyard ledge, so he's gonna save and quit and try again. I just noticed there's quite a discrepancy in the hearts for them at this point.
Yeah, it looks like everywhere that Chexhuman has checked that Furaime hasn't has had some hearts, but he needs to get himself a hook shot, which I think he's about to do.
Yeah, when you don't have very many hearts and you're trying to do glitches with the dead rocks and the cabbages all coming down on you, it's not a fun time.
Shoot, I have enough trouble with that when I'm just trying to do normal spin speed to get up Death Mountain. So Chexhuman's going to do his Ice Rod Cave. Now, I have no idea where he's going to go from there. Is he going to go do like a, water walk to check Zora? Or, he's not really sure what his options are. Got plenty of them, though.
Yeah, oh, well, he's not charging on water walk. Well, looks like he's going to go to Eastern from here, if I understand this clip correctly. This is one that I don't see very often. So he's got to be careful as he makes his way up here.
I think the cameraman for this is a little upset. I'm just saying. I don't think he's overly happy with Chexhuman right now. The camera's a little messed up.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of that during this tournament. Still haven't found the Moon Pearl. Where is it hiding?
Now now you said that, you know, a lot of stuff is open to you even without having the Moon Pearl or traditional items. So is like this Moon Pearl search often a thing that they're always looking for the Moon Pearl?
Yeah, you're mostly always going to be looking for the Moon Pearl in order to get you into the Dark World, or to do a significant amount of searching in the Dark World.
Right, but is it like a difficult thing to find sometimes?
It can be very difficult. Yeah, it can be hiding in some really obscure location in the Dark World that you really need to know the tricks on how to get to.
Yeah, because, you know, like with you know, the normal non-glitched modes, at the end of the day, you don't have to think too hard to find the Moon Pearl. There's a couple weird locations it can be, like Checkerboard Cave. But at the end of the day, you do ABC and you make your way to the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, I think the thing that would probably cause them the most trouble at this point is if they find the mirror. If they find the mirror before they find the Pearl, it will open up a ton of locations in the Dark World to check.
Now, so is there any scenario in which we actually have to get Agana to find it, like on the pyramid?
That's a good question. I suppose it's possible. They would know ways around it, though. I mean, I believe before either of them would go to before they would go fight Aga, they would probably use some other major glitch that's not in logic to make their way over to the pyramid.
Okay, so there's ways to get there, maybe just not in the logic.
Exactly. Pretty much Aga is only needed for the lumberjack item, which I believe was nothing of importance here.
Now, I'm not sure how the list of runners were chosen for this tournament, but I have seen the list of runners, and we're going to have an amazing tournament because every single one of these runners I recognize and are good no major glitch runners, like random no major glitch runners. So, you know, this is going to be interesting, folks.
All right, Chex over here is checking out the Hyrule Castle. I think this is probably the last place to check. Otherwise, we're looking at Moon Pearl in the Super Bunny Cave.
Ooh, that's fun. Now, Uncle did have the bad boomerang.
Yeah, so signups for this tournament was open to anybody who wanted to join. You did have to prove that you could finish 2 seeds with the time under 3 hours, but otherwise there were no requirements. And Check's picking up the powder here.
Yeah, so we're finishing up Escape. We've already seen what's up here on Death Mountain. But other than that, now they can't do Super Bunny. Oh, they can do it with like a Death Mountain Ascent type thing? How would they get there without the Titans?
Actually, the method is escaping me at this point. I'm looking at their items. Oh, yeah. They can get over to the Turtle Rock entrance. And even though they don't have the mitts, they can clip their way up onto that platform and use the hammer to open up that warp point. And that'll take them to Super Bunny Cave.
Oh, yeah, yep. That's a good point.
And it is starting to look like that's where the Moon Pearl is hiding. I mean, I guess they could check Magic Bat at this point, but it looks like they've checked everything else. Need to get rid of that last pot.
So, looks like Chexhuman is setting up a bit of a... Maybe not. I thought he was going to set up a Death Warp. I was wrong. Yep, remembering to flip the switch here saves a little bit of time. Nothing worse than walking upstairs and having to menu. Well, I guess he could hit it with the fire rod there, yeah.
They have a bunch of items already, though. I mean, we're gonna have to see when they do a map check in the Dark World what the crystal dungeons are, but it looks like they would only need the bow, the mirror if Swamp is a crystal, and the ice rod if Turtle Rock is a crystal. But otherwise, they're getting really close to go mode. Oh, they need to find another sword as well. That is going to present them with a problem, though. Once they find this Moon Pearl, so much of the Dark World is going to open up to them. It's going to be just like a gamble to see who can find where the last remaining items are hiding.
Oh, most definitely. You know, when we see seeds that give us a ton of items in the beginning, whether we're talking about overworld glitches or any other mode, oh, Chexhuman getting trolled. That's never fun. So he bites his tongue and goes back up. No controller throw. Good for him. But yeah, so you know, get all these items in the beginning, which is, you know, not as all that it's cracked up to be, because it makes it difficult to decide where to go next.
Chex getting his first crystal. And Furaime's down here checking checkerboard cave.
Ooh,
oh, there's
sword.
a sword. Somehow I thought Chex had checked this area already, but I guess not.
I see what you did there. Chex had checked. Got it. Alright, I'll stop. I apologize. Alright, so Furaime is doing his Bombos tablet check now. He's going to get himself a red shield. And it looks like Chexhuman's going to do exactly what you were talking about. I think.
No, he's going down to check Zora now. All right, let's see who's going to be the first one to make that trip to the Dark World.
Oh, we haven't seen the back of Escape. 31 minutes in, back of Escape, folks. Let's go.
No, I believe Furaime checked it earlier.
Oh, did he? Okay. Maybe that's where part of our heart disparity was. I am guessing that we had a good item count, or the runners had a good item count, because he definitely did not check the dark room chest, which I'm sure he could do in the dark. But he must know that it's either a key or the map.
Yeah, the dark rooms are not in logic, so even in this glitch mode, the seed does not expect you to be able to do the dark rooms. Not hiding in there.
Which I guess is kind of funny because, you know, runners of the caliber that can do these glitches, they can do probably any dark room except maybe Agana. Just because nobody wants to learn that dark room, you could not pay me to, I won't do it. We have not seen the Meyer area yet, so we do not know what Meyer medallion is. However, we do know where all the medallions are, so So apparently Chex didn't do Lemolis when he was up here. I hadn't realized that, because he did get the fire rod, so he was able to at the time. I don't remember if Lemolis had an item, but the fact that he's going to check now probably means that he did, or else he'd be just looking to progress.
Yeah, I don't recall, but he may be deciding to just fight them because he's in the area. I believe when he was here before, he didn't have the gloves, so if he had gone and fought the Landmolas then, he would have been stuck behind the rocks at the entrance. And he may have wanted to do some of the desert checks instead. Furaime trying to wiggle his way past the dead rock.
Okay, now I'm gonna say maybe we're possibly gonna see Super Bunny Cave. Possibly.
Yeah, this looks like it. There's really nothing else in this area.
Possibly. Because the second I say something for sure, it's like the runners hear me and they're like, nope, gonna do something else, make them look bad.
So we have Mire and Ice Palace as our pendant dungeons. That means they do still need all three items, the mirror, the bow, and the ice rod. I'm just going to assume the moon pearl is over here.
Alright, we don't see this very often, but he is going to have to go the long way. And he is now in, what is it, Super Bunny mode. There we go.
Cape. And there we go. So he can come out here and then do a bunch of checks over here, Hookshot Cave. And then we'll see if he decides to go down to Catfish or maybe even make his way to Ganon's Tower. Ganon's Tower is open to them. They don't need to get all 7 crystals first. Items hiding in Ganon's Tower.
Interesting. I mean, there's a ton of items open to them, and they literally can do everything in Ganon's Tower other than the upper tier because they don't have a bow. But now, can he clip back up on top there, or no? He's not going to.
Yes, if he needed to, he could clip up to the Turtle Rock Medallion to open it up. Usually,
okay, so we could have done a Turtle Rock as well, gamble there for the ice rod.
Yeah, we could. Usually we don't enter in... Oh, there's half magic. So he's found half magic and silvers already. But usually we don't enter Turtle Rock from the front because you can actually enter in on the middle entrance where the big chest is. And usually that's a faster way to clear out Turtle Rock.
People, this is why we don't pollute. I mean, look at what Furaime has done to this river here in the Dark World. It's just a mess. It's going to take a lot to clean up.
I think Chex was trying to get somewhere else as a bunny, but that's not really in logic, so looks like he's gonna try again.
He may be going over to do the same Super Bunny check, and I was wrong again. Oh, is he going to enter from a different way? Nope.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's planning to do here. I mean, obviously he knows a bunch more tricks than you or I do, but this will be fun to watch. And then Furaime's picking up his Tempered Sword up over in Hype Cave. Oh, Chex is going to fake flute. So he's using a blue potion, and he activated at the same frame that he did a screen transition, and it lets the duck fly him to anywhere in the Dark World. Doesn't look like the Dark World, does it?
It does not, but those are definitely Dark World enemies. So he's in the Dark World right now, but he can interact like he's in the Light World?
He does have Super Bunny status after doing fake flute. So the screen that you arrive on after you flute is still gonna look like the Light World, so you can't do anything in the Dark World there. But as soon as you go off that screen, you will be in Dark World proper as Super Bunny. And then, when you are in Super Bunny mode, if you pull on an object, like one of the tree pulls, it will turn you into Link, permanent Link state.
Very interesting. Now, what would he do right now that would like send him back into Bunny and a whole world of hurt? Or does the game just think he's in the light world?
If he enters into the underworld, so into a cave or a house, something like that, and another sword for Furaime in Mireshed. Yeah, if he goes into underworld and comes back out, then he will revert back into a regular bunny.
Now, is that what he has just done by going into to Skull Woods?
Skull Woods is a little weird. The game kind of treats this this forest area as part of Skull Woods, kind of. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but I believe he will continue to have his Link state until he actually screen transitions out of the woods area.
Honestly, how do people figure these things out?
Oh no, I was wrong. He was a bunny.
Now so that is actually going to work out in his favor because he was kind of on a goose chase. And that's interesting. I guess dying fixes that? I'm so confused.
Yes, I got confused as well. So the Dungeon Bunny Revival glitch, which is a minor glitch, does not wear off in Skull Woods until you do the screen transition. That's what I was thinking of. So in any of these Dark World dungeons, if you don't have the Moon Pearl and you die inside the dungeon, the game will revive you as full Link. At this point.
Now, one thing they do have to be careful with was that with that little bunny, I can't remember the name of it. The thing that turns you into a bunny. If it turns him into it right now, he will not revert after time without the Moon Pearl.
I'm sorry, I missed that. But yeah, he will stay as Link. And then looks like chat's bringing up a good point. So he's in fake Dark World, which is why he's not reverting back into a bunny.
Okay, so fake Dark World. You know, for those, you know, I'm sure we have a lot of runners that are not used to this mode. That's basically where the game thinks you're in the light world, but you're actually on the terrain of the Dark World, correct?
Yeah, the game gets confused in a lot of different ways. But basically, if you die in a dungeon and
the bow!
Oh.
The bow in Ganon's tower. Every viewer's dream, every runner's nightmare.
So he won't have to, or he's not continuing on to Ice Armos. But often in these seeds, you will have to go down and fight Ice Armos without the bow.
Well, he does have the gold sword, so that helps. But regardless, without that bow, that Ice Armos is a long-ish fight.
Yeah, the worst is when you have something like the seed requiring you to beat Ice Armos with the boomerang or something. That is possible. There's the Ice Rod as well. GT's got all the goods.
So Furaime's making all the plays. Chexhuman's running a great race, and definitely we're not counting anyone out just yet. The fact that we see Furaime in Ganon's tower doesn't mean anything. He's still got to get all the crystals before he can do anything with Ganon. But yeah, this is he's just making the right decisions, whereas, you know, Chexhuman's playing great, just things aren't paying off for him.
Yeah, Chex needs to make his way into Ganon's tower soon, I think.
Now, I know that logically we are still definitely a mirror and a lamp away from go mode. Now, if we put logic aside, you're the expert here. Is this seed completable right now?
My understanding is that it is not. You do need the mirror to finish Swamp Palace.
Okay. So this fake Dark World thing, you can't like finish. Can you finish dungeons in it? I guess you can finish Skull Woods, but
Yeah, so what happens is if you die inside a dungeon and then you come back out, it will look like Dark World, but as soon as you screen transition to another screen, it'll put you back in the Light World. And that is in the original game. Now for regular randomizer, that has been patched out so that it doesn't cause runners any confusion or problems. So that's why you might not have encountered it before on the regular no glitches logic seeds. Looks like Chex did another fake flute, but he may have fluted to a location that he didn't want to, and so he's reset his console to get back his potion.
go to Super Bunny Chex. Go.
Well, thank you, chat. Yeah, so Chex got hit. And when you get hit, you do lose your Super Bunny state, and that's why he did the reset. I'm afraid Chex may have just forgotten about Super Bunny Cave being in Logic. But it looks like he's gonna flute over here to, this is really Village of Outcasts. He's gonna turn around and then he's gonna pull something, probably the Thieves' Town entrance. Clear out this entire area that way without the pearl. So now he's back as Link.
Yeah, so if he has forgotten about that, he's in a lot of trouble because finding, we know where everything really is other than the mirror that we need. And if he doesn't if he finds the mirror in in Thieves' Town or somewhere else, it's going to lead him even further from going and checking Super Bunny Cave.
Well, he should know his logic. If he finds the mirror anywhere else, he should know that it should not lead him to Moon Pearl if he was supposed to have Moon Pearl to get the mirror.
So are you telling me he is in Logic or out of Logic right now with this Thieves' Town play?
This is all out of Logic. The only thing in Logic right now is going to be Super Bunny Cave.
Okay, so you are allowed to do these like fake flutes and other methods of getting to fake Dark World, but none of it's in the Logic without a Moon Pearl?
Yeah, these Overworld YBAs where you have to use a potion and screen transition on the same frame, that's not in Logic.
Very interesting. As you can see, I brought my technical advisor along with me today, folks.
Chex may just be going ahead with just clearing the dungeons that he can, and maybe just trying to finish the seed pearlless. I mean, I'm pretty sure he knows the methods how, and this seed is definitely completable that way, even though it's not in logic.
Oh, so you're okay. So this is one of these things where he knows that he may know some ideas of where the Moon Pearl is. He just doesn't care because of he may think it's a little faster that if he finds the mirror right now, you know, he doesn't have to worry about, you know, going and wasting time getting the pearl.
It's possible. It seems like a very risky play because every time, I mean, there are ways, as we've seen, to get out of Bunny's state and search these areas. But essentially, every time you come out of a cave, like if you come out of Hype Cave, or if you come out of Mire Shed, these kinds of places, you're always going to get turned back into a bunny, and you have to get your link state back, which essentially means drinking another blue potion.
Now, is Hyrule Castle considered a dungeon for this, or like if nothing was in Ganon's tower, could you get the 7 crystals and then like YBA to Ganon?
No, you need to kill Aga 2 in order to open up the pyramid.
Okay.
There's no way around that in overworld glitches. So Chex is gonna need to kill himself off so that he gets into fake Dark World, and that'll allow him to check the rest of the Village of Outcasts locations.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that Aga 2 was also part of the Ganon invulnerability mechanic. I knew that the 7 crystals were.
I think we're gonna have to hope that the mirror is in one of these dungeons, and Chex will go ahead and start just clearing out the crystal dungeons one by one. And if he finds the mirror in there, and he also gets into Ganon's tower, then he could make this happen. But if he has to go around searching a bunch of caves in the Dark World, that's not going to work out.
See, that's the one thing that, you know, leads me to fully feel that Chexhuman is still completely in this race, is that even though he has still not found the Moon Pearl, he's 2 dungeons up. He's doing crystal dungeons, so he's making progress.
Yeah, it's just that Furaime is going to be able to get to the remaining crystal dungeons faster than Chex if this keeps going on. He's buying some more blue potions, so it looks like he's gonna continue this path to fake flute to all the dungeons and clear them out that way.
Now, for the overworld YBAs, is it always a blue potion, or is there sometimes that different potions provide different effects that you may need?
They have different effects. The other potions are not used as often. I think the main thing to sequence break using a red or green potion YBA is to get the blacksmith without needing the mitts. But other than that, usually we're going to be seeing the blue YBAs for this fake flute. And here he goes again. Let's see what dungeon he goes to. Or not.
He's going to the old man dungeon.
He may have realized that Super Bunny is in logic. He's starting off and doing the right thing if he wants to get there. Yeah, he's making his way over to Turtle Rock, so this could be it. He might be hitting himself in the face right now.
Now, he used an interesting glitch there, where you have to kind of wiggle your way up the mountain by looking in different directions. And it can prove to be dangerous, because if you press, and I forget which direction it is, but if you press one of the 4 directions, you will soft lock.
Yeah, you need to wiggle up your way up the mountain in the right way, otherwise you'll get stuck in the mountain. But these runners should have no problems doing that. Here he goes. Alright, so I think this is a race again. I mean, like you said, Chex is 2 crystals up, and once he gets the Moon Pearl, he can start knocking out the other dungeons. He's got to go to GT, though.
Got to go to GT now. If he wants to stay in this race, GT, he's got to go from here to GT.
For those of you in chat, I do believe Mirror on Pedestal is still a possibility.
Now, was that bonk to turn him into Link, or was that a frustration bonk? Maybe a little of both.
Probably both. I noticed Furaime did the same thing, so they both must have been frustrated by that location, because I think they checked every Light World location before coming here, and checks even more than that.
Now, from what I understand and have seen, it looks like we are not going to need Titans for this seed at all, because unless Mirror's an Ice Palace.
That's right. Logically, the seed does require you to have mitts in order to get into Ice Palace through that warp point, but if you have the mirror, you can get around that. It could still be the case that Mirror is on either Blacksmith or Purple Chess.
Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, Chex barely making it through. Sorry to interrupt you.
Getting a little piece of heart for his troubles. But yeah, the Mirror could be hiding behind mitts. That is a possibility. Looks like Chex is making his way into GT. This is normally a good play because GT has got 20 items in it altogether. So there's usually something useful tucked away in there.
I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see a cape glitch from Chexhuman. I guess he just wants to stay active and dodge these guys.
Not even sure if he has enough magic to activate the clip.
Right, well, yeah, but after he used it twice. Oh, and he got a key for his troubles. And I actually think it's that key that allowed Furaime to know that he didn't need to pick up the key after picking up these next 4 chests.
Furaime making a liar out of me and entering Turtle Rock from the front.
Well, that's just boring. Come on. Now, he could have entered that through the back by doing sort of along the lines of how I believe it was Chex got to the east side of Death Mountain earlier when we were talking about possibly soft locking if you turn the wrong direction.
Yeah, once you're on the top of East Dark Death Mountain, you can clip through that barrier on the top of the mountain and then get yourself onto that ledge that leads to the middle of Turtle Rock. You could check Mimic Cave that way too if you had the mirror.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, for what I was thinking about, you would need the mirror to do the clip that I believe I'm thinking about. Ooh, the flute, which is not going to really help us.
Yep, flute becomes absolutely not required in this mode.
Not required to complete or not required for logic?
I believe there is nothing that requires flute in logic for any overworld glitches seed, because you can always get to Mire by clipping onto the ledge. And here we see Furaime is locked out of the rest of Turtle Rock because the logic does expect you to be able to get into the middle of Turtle Rock.
Well, that's what he gets for doing the boring method.
So he's going to head back out and then enter in through the middle, I believe. I'm not even sure what advantage there is to entering in the front. I'm sure Furaime had a reason, but maybe we can ask him about it.
I mean, you do, you know, so if you're saying, oh, you don't have to get, let's say you go in the front because there's 3 quick items and maybe one of them's the big key. Could that maybe be his thought?
But you can get those items by going backwards. So you get this big key chest, and then you keep going backwards, get those items, and then you can death warp back to the middle of Turtle Rock.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it is possible to key lock yourself out from the front if you open that door that Furaime just did. But you could get the key and then go back through Chain Chomps and be able to get all the items that way.
I am completely against going through Chain Chomps if not necessary. I'm going to throw that out there right now.
So Chex is also going to be on the hunt for the mirror now. I wonder if he'll just go through all the dungeons, in which case he'll probably miss out on these 2 sword upgrades.
Now, for Chex, that's not going to make a difference. I mean, it will be a slower Ganon, but I have no doubt in my mind that he can do Master Sword Silverless quite quickly, especially with half magic and cape.
Yeah, I'm sure he can do it, but I'm still thinking that he is a little bit behind, so he needs these advantages to try to make up some time.
Absolutely. He is still technically 1 dungeon ahead, but both of the dungeons that he is ahead are a lot quicker than even Pod. Definitely faster than Turtle Rock, if we're talking about full clears, that is.
Yeah, Furaime tackles Skullwoods and Thieves Town next. Then things are probably going to get a lot closer.
But really, I mean, the deciding factor in this is going to be that mirror. Or is it just not necessary for Swamp?
It is necessary for Swamp.
So really, you know, the disparity of dungeon is not the big factor here. We're talking about who's going to find that mirror first.
Yeah, whoever finds that mirror first is going to be able to go mode a lot of dungeons. And Swamp is kind of like the problem child in that respect. Swamp has so many item requirements to complete the dungeon that in these overworld glitches seed, you're often looking for that last item in order to complete Swamp, and you usually go mode Swamp.
Furaime with a very nice Trinex. Finishes it with 1 heart.
You are evened up on the crystal count now, so if you're going by that, they're pretty close together.
Right, but when we compare those crystals, you know, we get a separation gap.
Furaime is going to map wrap over here from Turtle Rock and get his way over to the back of Skull Woods. This is a really nice one. Now, if he goes right at all, once he stops auto-walking, he will hard lock the game. So he's smart enough to avoid that.
So with where our Moon Pearl was, I have no doubt that Furaime thinks that he's behind because all runners always think they're behind always. But Chexhuman definitely knows he's behind. Are we going to see him... Like, is the strategy here different for everybody, or is it like, well, I should start checking overworld locations because my opponent's going to be doing dungeons?
I think it's the same as in regular seeds, that if you feel really behind, you probably are going to start doing things like checking pendant dungeons and hoping that you find this last item there, and you can go mode the rest of the items while your opponent goes and looks and full clears all the crystal dungeons.
Yeah, and see, that's how quickly we get the Skull Woods crystal.
Yeah, it was a good play by Furaime to go to Turtle Rock and knowing that once he finished Turtle Rock, he could get right to Skull Woods really quickly like that.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, Trinex was being killed while Chex was, I think, in the gauntlet. He was in the gauntlet, so, like, He finished that dungeon in, I think, like a minute, maybe less.
I see a bunch of runners in the tournament watching this match, and they're all learning a lot of new tricks that they want to add to their bag.
What I'm learning is that I thought I knew a little bit about overworld glitches and realized I'm wrong.
I would say there's 2 levels to doing overworld glitch. I think it's really easy to get into these seeds and know how to learn enough tricks to be able to complete every seed. But then there's another level where you learn all these non-required glitches that help you move around the world faster, and that's what these runners know how to do.
Uh-oh, Chex. Oh. Chex got a little stuck swimming. I'm going to give it go too. Did not get soft locked.
Looks like he is trying to wiggle his way over to Pod, and there he goes, if he can get out of here. Or maybe not. I don't know that particular clip, so I don't know how it's supposed to go, but if he tried it, I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that they give you the boots so that it makes some of these like what would be very difficult perfect pixel setups a lot easier, and then that second tier that you're talking about adds another level to that. You once again need to know your perfect pixel setups.
Yeah, at that point, you gotta think about your routing and which of these glitches you want to use in order to accomplish things the fastest. We saw a bunch of glitches in this match that I think are not very well known, like Turtle Rock to Skullwoods, Ice Rod to Eastern Palace, these kinds of things that you can always just walk the long way around. But they are time savers.
Yeah, that's why when I saw these 2 names on the ballot, I was like, oh, this is something I gotta see. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, both of these runners, I would say, deserve to be in the quarterfinals at least. So it's sad that one of them will get eliminated, but exciting that we get to see it. And Chex is showing off the method of going through Turtle Rocks backwards. I do believe he opened the big key chest though, so if this Chain Chomp chest is not a key, then he will have to go back around through the front.
This is why I'm against Chain Chomps. I know he did it on purpose, but still, they're just mean. He did it on purpose, but they're rude, and Link doesn't deserve that.
That big key was a good find because now he can just go to the back of Turtle Rock, beat Trinix, and then they'll kick him out to the front of Turtle Rock, and then he can. Oh wait, no, he's gonna be stuck in the turtle head. Yeah, since he doesn't have the mirror. Never mind.
Now that's not like Pod, where if you're in that situation, he can't just like press down and go straight back into it.
Oh, you're right. He can. That's right. He can get back inside Turtle Rock. He just won't be able to get out and, for example, do the clip that Furaime did to Skullwoods. He doesn't need to go back to Skullwoods, but if he could get out the front of Turtle Rock, he could flip his way directly down to Pod.
The fake damsel there, she needs to get some sun. I know sun's bad for it, turns her into blind, but she's pretty pale.
So we've basically seen all of the crystal dungeons, and the mirror is not in any of them. So their options are going to be Eastern. Wait, no, they've already gone through Eastern looking for the pearl.
Now, was Chex trying to do some, like, quick kill that I'm not aware of? Why? Do you know why he was menu buffering there on Trinex?
I missed it. I didn't see.
Or not menu buffering, select. He like select buffered the beginning of that fight. I'm sure it's for a reason. He didn't do it by accident. I only imagine that maybe there's some way to get a quick kill.
I definitely don't know of any method with Master Sword. Looks like chat is saying there's a quick kill hammer kill.
Yeah, I figured he was trying to minimize frame loss. You know, and the only reason he would do something like that was if he could get a 0 cycle, because otherwise the select buffering is just going to waste him time. And, you know, he didn't pull it off. You know, but these runners are at such a caliber that he's learning something like that, that at the end of the day is only going to save him maybe a couple seconds with that select buffering. That's the level we're talking about.
Always something new to learn in this game.
Right? You would think, oh, this is a Super Nintendo game. It's not that complicated. It's that complicated.
Oh, this is our first Fat Fairy check. Normally the way to get into here would be using the mirror, but obviously they don't have that.
So Furaime is going to go the long way. So, you know, Chex is running out of some options here. Now, Furaime is using an interesting bug. He's going to screen transition like right now. Right as the bomb was going to explode. Has that timed perfectly. That if you do it as the bomb is going to explode, you get the bomb to follow you again.
Yep, you have to screen transition while the explosions are going off, but the bomb is still on the screen. And in those few frames, once you screen transition, the game will think that the bomb should still be following you.
So, Chexhuman's got to find this mirror, and considering Furaime really has expended all of his dungeon options, he's checking overworld locations. So I gotta think that maybe like a Meyer play is what Chex needs to do right now to get back into this, and Meyer having the mirror.
Oh. Now, where was Mushroom?
We just found the mirror, didn't we? I was looking at the left screen.
Yeah, Furaime just got the mirror at the potion shop.
I'm sorry, Chex. I cursed you. It's my fault. I apologize. But I think that means that we are officially at 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 30 seconds in go mode minus lamp, which no one cares about.
Yeah, I gotta figure if Chex had gotten that Moon Pearl earlier, it would have looked a lot different.
Definitely. It's, you know, this isn't like, oh, Chex died on Moth, or he, you know, made some really poor routing decisions, or wasn't able to execute his glitches. He's playing a great game. I just didn't do the check that Furaime did that paid off for Furaime and not for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out how far behind Chex felt like he was. Because I can understand that he was still finishing Crystal Dungeons. Maybe he didn't think he was losing that much time. But if he did feel very behind, it might have been more interesting to do some of those more gambling plays. Chat pointing out that Chex bought so many blue potions and the mirror was there the whole time.
I'm interested to see the frustration reaction when he realizes that.
They checked a lot of locations in this seed. I want to say, like, they didn't go through Ice Palace or the Smith's Chain, but I think almost everything else was checked out. Maybe they... I don't think anybody checked out the dig spot either.
No, somebody did do dig game. I think it was maybe Chex, but it was at like 1 hour and 2 minutes or something. Now, from what I was seeing from Furaime right there, we're seeing right now, yeah, he definitely has the quick kill on Argus in his arsenal. He didn't quite get it, but that is, from what I'm told, one of the hardest of all the randomizer tricks to learn. So the fact that he can do it, good for him.
Yeah, it looks easy, and then when you try it, it all goes wrong.
That's what happens with most of the stuff I do.
I'm sure Furaime feels behind. He's probably thinking he's going to get sniped right now.
Oh, geez, that snuck up on me. I was like, okay, we still got a little bit of race to go. Oh, we're at Ganon. I'm not used to this mode. That's interesting. So yeah, this is going to be Well, I'm not gonna say how quickly it's gonna be done, because then I'll cause Furaime to like fall, and then I'll have to apologize for that too. Oh, that fire rod torch glitch and the trip. Oh, I thought he was gonna get a triple. He did get a double, and there it is.
All right, get your GGs in chat for Furaime.
And Furaime finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 27 minutes even. Let me see if I can get our friend in here.
Chex making his way through this. So Chex trying to make his way through this dark room over here.
So it is pretty late for Furaime. I don't think he wants to get on a mic and maybe wake up somebody in the house. He's not going to join us in here. He is going to pop into chat for a minute.
I mean, I'd be interested to think or to hear what he thought about that Moon Pearl location.
Oh, there he is in chat. We can ask him about if you're just coming in. Once again, GG's. Great race. What did you think of that Moon Pearl location?
It's like he had trouble remembering that Super Bunny was an option. That can be a tough one to remember. It's kind of like out of the way over there. And usually for these seeds, the trolley Moon Pearl location is behind Mirror. Option both of these runners may have just put the Dark World locations out of their minds.
Yeah, I don't know if you talked with Chex at all, but very big portion of the reason he's so far behind is we'll have to find out from him, but I believe that he did completely forget Super Bunny for a while.
So that's the last crystal that Chex can get. And so he just needs to hit these overworld locations until he finds the mirror. There can't be that many places to look now.
I think he may be going to check like Catfish. I believe he's already done Pyramid. Well, Furaime, it's always a good thing when you forget something in your favor. Forget you had a plan and then switch it up, and that switch up kind of works out in your favor. And I said it, so of course I got proven wrong. He has not done Fairy, so we'll go do that. Wow, look at that execution by Chexhuman with that bomb glitch. He had it timed perfectly. If you guys clip that and look back, you hear the bomb go off right when he transitioned.
There is a way to set that up. So if you drop the bomb at a particular location and then just dash through and obviously don't get hit by anything, you'll hit the transition right as the bomb goes off.
And Chexhuman saying, I don't care about this fence, I'm gonna hop it. That's an interesting way to get to pegs.
Yep, that's in logic. You don't need the mitts to get to this area so that you can check this hammer peg location. But it's just a big 20. Not what he's looking for. What does this look like to you?
I think he's going to buy another potion. I might be wrong. It's happened before. And I wonder if the irony is now dawning on Chex of how many times he's been in that room. But that is how Randomizer goes sometimes. For me, that sounds like a triple dip magic, potion check.
So earlier we were wondering why Furaime went through the front of Turtle Rocks, and it looks like he was concerned about getting key locked out of the front portion. But I do believe you can always get around that if you leave the door to the big key chest unopened.
Yeah, I think he was also saying something about he was worried about doing the screen wrap glitch because he was worried about soft locking and losing a crystal. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that is a very good point. By opening up the front of Turtle Rock, he was able to, once he killed Trinex, do that clip to get to Skullwoods. Whereas we saw that when Chex, he was kind of stuck, like he couldn't progress. I'm sure he probably would have wanted to afterwards, but the front was closed.
See, that is why P. Wong is the real MVP, because I can spout a bunch of nonsense and he can translate it into something that makes sense.
Well, we're watching two guys that taught me everything I know about Overworld glitches, so these are the real masters right here. So to answer chat, yeah, Chex did not need to do that map wrap to Skullwoods, but he could clip to Pod, which he didn't have finished at the time, and that would have been faster than saving and quitting from there. That's what I like about Turtle Rock. There's a lot of options to go in different directions, depending on where you need to go.
Yeah, I think it's Turtle Rock is one of those really interesting dungeons that when you're playing no major glitch mode, it is a very linear dungeon. A couple side tracks, but not much. But when you get into any of the glitch modes, Turtle Rock becomes this entity of there's so many ways you can enter it.
Yeah, the logic is pretty convoluted for Turtle Rock, because you can enter in on different ways, and the key layout can be in different, positions. And if you have the mirror, it's actually possible to even get into the laser bridge entrance of Turtle Rock. That part is not in logic.
Now I want to state that both of these runners just domed Argus like it was nothing. And I gotta say, it is hard to time.
So I believe Chex didn't pick up the sword in Mire Shed. So we're going to be seeing a tempered sword fight here.
Which, at the end of the day, I gotta imagine Chex knows all the strats that he will probably one cycle both the first two phases anyways, with a little RNG. Yep, that's phase one right there. He's gonna one phase this. And he knows dash strats, so this should be quite quick. Of course, I've now cursed him. I apologize. Yep, so this is a perfect example of how that upgrade that we always talk about in the NMG tournament, that upgrade from Master to Tempered is a big deal. But from Tempered to Gold, it's small advantage.
Yeah, disadvantage when you're fighting Mothula, huh?
Now, I may have missed something, but did they get different patterns? Because I seem to remember that Furaime had an option to get that double early on where Chex did. Oh, that's because of how he activated the torch glitch.
Yeah, the initial one was pretty much a single hit, and then depending on when you activated the torch, you could have got a triple.
Right. And GG's to Chexhuman, who finishes with an official SRTTV time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 55 seconds, which is still an amazing time for this seed. GG's to both of our runners. Let's see if Chex is able to come in and chat for a minute.
So if you guys liked what you saw, and you want to do crazy broken stuff, I encourage you to try out some Overworld glitch seeds. There's a lot of resources out there on the basics of how to clip into these ledges. And then you two can be walking on walls, wiggling up mountains, and just in general having a lot of fun. Or at least that's my opinion.
All right, so I think Chex is going to be joining us. I'm going to pull him in right now. GG's, Chex. Amazing play.
GG.
That Moon Pearl, though, huh? What do you think about that location?
Yeah, I've seen that before, and I forgot about it. I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Right. I just... I think I need to review my list of Dark World locations possible for the Pearl, because I don't really have a firm grasp of where it can be. But I figured it out eventually.
How serious were you about potentially finishing the seed Pearlless, or did you know that you would have to find the Pearl eventually?
Let's think about that. It wouldn't have been too hard, I guess. Because it would have taken me another blue potion to get to Ganon's tower. I think that was where I was headed. I think that was where I was headed before I realized, oh, Super Bunny Cave. And then GT held the rest of the progression. So then I would have gone Pearlless. Yeah.
That would have been really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that you had gone Pearlless there. Do you think that would have led you to check the mushroom sooner? Since You wouldn't have
yeah.
access to the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know when to check the mushroom, I guess. Wasn't that in the Ganon's Tower big chest or something? Where was that?
Yeah, chat was saying that it was on the GT climb.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's yeah.
Now the
Lots of
other
progression
ironic thing that Chet pointed out was that witch was hiding the mirror from you the whole time you got blue potions.
I know, she should have said something.
It was really rude of her. I'm kind of ashamed of her. Any other thoughts about the seed?
It was pretty straightforward altogether, all mistakes aside. I'm looking forward to the next one. Hopefully I will be a little bit more good.
Oh, you had me, and I'm sure quite a few others quite entertained. You showed us a lot of things that I don't think that we were so knowledgeable about. Definitely a lot of interesting small glitches that we didn't know about.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with the early game. But by the end of it, I was almost in tears in Palace of Darkness. But I had fun altogether.
Great. Well, you put on a great show. For those of you still looking for some randomizer action tonight, I think they still have the daily race going on Speed Gaming 5. And there's a Celeste Any Percent tournament going on Speed Gaming 3. Other than that, my name's... sorry. I definitely want to thank Cyclone for restreaming and Kirito for tracking. And definitely P. Wong for commentating with me, because I needed somebody to keep me straight. But I've been Cobb. Any final thoughts, P. Wong?
No, I'm just definitely looking forward to the rematch between these two, because I'm sure it'll be another exciting match.
Oh, most definitely. Well, thank you all for joining us. Y'all have a good night.